able to pull off a cuter intro than what you're looking at right now. But I've already decorated the entire house for fall, and I am super excited because fall is my absolute favorite time of year. And I remember when the kids were younger, as soon as we started school shopping, I was already decorating for fall. I have always done that. Long before YouTube, I was ahead of the game because I just enjoyed it so much. I loved it so much. I love the feel that fall brings. I love the cozy. I love the you know, all of the fun things that we used to do, our traditions as a family, and all of these things. I mean, I'm always in a hurry to have that back. I'm always in a push to have that back. If I could have it all year round, I would. Looking around the house, I told Art the other day, I was like, because we're loving this. Art and I both are fall people. And I said, I think I want to leave it up all year round. I never want to take it down. He didn't say anything. And I'm still contemplating that because it just feels so good. I love it. Anywho, I'm going to start by taking you room by room, and I'm going to be very honest. You already know it's been decorated, and I've sat on it for a while, so nothing's really going to change for fall, so to speak. But I don't decorate dressed up. I decorate, you know, with sweatpants or shorts or hair pulled up. Sometimes it doesn't look pretty. Sometimes I'm huffing and puffing and sweaty as I'm moving bins up and down and doing the nitty gritty of decorating, because it's not a pretty process at all. It's a dirty, hard process. And any of you that decorate know what I'm talking about. I would love to be able to get dressed up and be like some of my favorite YouTubers that I watch. They always look so pretty. They always look so coordinated with the season and their video, and they put so much work and time and energy into it. I kind of feel like a little bit of a failure that I don't do that. and I'm not going to stress out over it. I'm not going to worry about it because I need to live my life the way that it's best for me. And the way that it's best for me is, as I clean, I'm going to film a video for you. That's how we're going to do it. Now, I'm not going to say that sometimes I'm not going to be festive and I'm not going to have makeup on, because I might come home from work and be all dressed up and decide, instead of getting right into my pajamas and taking the bra off like I love to do, I will go ahead and film a video for you. So I'm not going to say that you're not, you know, I'm not going to be well put together in some of my videos, but for the most part, this is what you get when you watch me. It just is what it is. And without further ado and rambling, let's get into decorating the hutch. So I've already cleaned it off, and the top took me too long, so I'm not going to be cleaning that on a regular basis. I dust this every week, but not that. So I'm going to show you that in the home tour, and it's nice to have some surprises anyway, right? So you'll see that in the home tour, but I love how this turned out, the top of it. But I left my plates up, and I left this as my foundation here, and we're just gonna fill in the way that I had as I'm cleaning. So we're gonna start on the bottom shelf, and hopefully I can remember how I had it, because I haven't cleaned since I haven't dusted this since I put it all together. But I think I can remember. So I have tons of these. Everybody has them in their stash. I'm gonna put just an old pie tin right over here in the corner. I love these things, and I wanted a way to pull out my nod to primitive. I love primitive. I love everything. I love everything. If this is your first time watching me, you should know that I love every style, every style. And I have a little bit of every style in my stash. So I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling. I wanted to pull some of that out into fall, because primitive is such a great style to put in your fall decorating. Pit berries always are really synonymous with primitive decor, and they go really well with fall. So, and I'm rambling again. So I'm gonna put that on the pie pan on that side, but I'm going to mimic that, because I'm a symmetrical kind of gal. I'm going to put my corn mold This is a cornbread mold. It's cast iron and it's old. I'm not sure. I doubt it's an antique, but it definitely is vintage. So I'm gonna put that on the other side. Another thing that you may know is, or if you don't know, I love vintage and I love antiques. I think I love vintage more than antique, but nonetheless, I love it. I love it all. So I'm just gonna put that here. Now, the doily that I have on my little stand here will help to hold that in place. It doesn't slide or anything, I'm not worried about it. And I don't get in and out of the cabinets that are down below, so it'll be fine. I'm gonna fill in this space with some hops and corn husk. I'm just gonna tuck that in and about here and there. And let's see. I think I had this one like that. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Okay, I might not, maybe I don't need this one. I had it in there to begin with. And then what I had here was soup turreens. This usually houses all of my soup tureen collection, so we're just gonna put those there. This one I love because it has that I don't know, it has the look and feel and shape of a pumpkin, and it has this beautiful, like, I wanna call it reminds me of wheat. I don't know why, but it kind of reminds me of wheat just because it's the way that it's kind of cut in there, like wheat and corn and all that good jazz. So my mind just goes everywhere, so ignore that. And then next to that, I had my dad's sugar dish. My dad loved his coffee and he always got his sugar out of the sugar dish, and it is chipped in places and worn, but I love it. And every time I see it, it reminds me of my dad. This was something he used every single day. So I always have that out and about. It never gets put away. Never gets put away. It is always out in a prominent place in my home and always will be. And then I, over here, put some more to fill in that space. I'm just gonna use some more of the hops and corn. I don't know how well you can see, but I'm just gonna, I think I had way more than I actually needed up there. So I'm gonna hold on to these extras. Now the other thing that I had here, up here, were these vintage corn holders. So they have the spike on the end. Can you see that? And so I just have a whole bowl of those. I thought that was super cute. So I'm just gonna put that there. I like the chip to show, so I turned it so you can see that. I know, I'm weird. I also have this little, it's like a little tart press. This is definitely vintage, don't know if it's antique, but it has that look and feel of the other two things that I have here. And I am just going to, maybe I'll put it in the front here. I had it over here, but I think maybe here. I'll just leave that there for now. And then I need to bring some turkeys in because I love my turkeys. Started collecting them last year, and I will pick up some probably this year. I found a few that I passed by. I'm hoping they're still at my favorite vintage shop that's down the street, so I need to go back and check. Nonetheless, I'm gonna put what I have out right now. And I'm gonna start with a couple of salt and pepper shakers. Actually, I think all I did was use my salt and pepper shakers turkeys on this hutch for this time. So I'm gonna put one, and I'm separating them. One is gonna go there, one is gonna go there. So I have my symmetry going. And then I'm going to, I have a couple of these little pumpkins and little teeny hay bales, and I'm just gonna scatter them out and about through here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and add one here. I do remember I had this on this shelf. I think I had it like that. And I know that I had more corn and hops and all that jazz, but I can't remember where. So I tell you what, I think I'm gonna put it right there. That looks good. I'll bend the stem. That just helps to add a little bit more right in there. There we go. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna leave that alone. Let's go up to the top or the middle shelf. Now, this will be a little tricky. I'm gonna start with, did I start? Yes, I did. I started with this platter. I usually have it here because I love stoneware. This is not vintage or anything, but I have had it for a really long time. Actually, I guess it would be considered vintage now because I've had it since, I don't know, it's over 30 years old, but it's nothing special. It's not like stoneware or it's not an English piece. But this shelf, I built this hutch and I have a video of this project. I don't have, this is just scrap wood, so I don't have the indentations to keep the plates and stuff like a well-built hutch would. So I have to be very careful. And I have this platter, I layered it. I put this platter, let me see if I can do that. And then, guys, before I do that, because I'm gonna have to layer this quickly. So let me just show you the other plates. I've had this plate for a really long time and it is stoneware. And then I found 2 more pieces of stoneware. Now, the cool thing about this is it is a Edwards and Company, but it's got a, this is a place in Rockville, Maryland. And it was, oh, here it is. It's Naomi Baptist Church in Templeman, Virginia, and it was organized in 1786. So that is a really cool plate. Again, it's not really all that special or anything, but this is gonna go in front of the platter. And then on either side of that, if you remember, I did get these beautiful Royal Cauldron, England, established 1772, Barnard Castle made in England stoneware plates. They're beautiful. They're from the same, I guess they're part of a set. They have the same markings on the back. I'm gonna anchor that platter and the other plate with these 2. And then in front of it, I'm gonna put my soup tureens to hold the plates in. So I'm not gonna talk while I do that because I don't wanna break anything. So I'm gonna gather my little bits so that I can hurry up and get this back on without anything falling. All right, so I'm gonna do the middle first. All right, and then I'm gonna do the side one right here. And then I'm gonna do this side one and this soup tureen. Art says I booby trap everything. Anywho. All right, so then I have these to just give me some elevation. And I like to level everything. I don't like everything laying flat. The more layers that you can put in, the more depth and interest you create. Then I'm gonna put a set of these. I just put some paper shred, and these are like really odd planners that I just picked up at a thrift store and painted. I've had them for a really long time. And then I have a couple of antique doilies. I love my doilies. So I'm just gonna set those on top, 2 identical ones. And then all I'm gonna do is put some pumpkins. Gotta have pumpkins, right? So I'm just gonna put a couple little pumpkins right in the top. It gives me that burnt orange color and gives a nod to fall. The other thing I'm gonna do is add in my really pretty antique jars. These are milk glass jars. I have a salt shaker. No, this is a pepper shaker. I'm gonna put on one side. And then just this one, I don't know what it is, but it's milk glass. I'm gonna put that there. And then the turkeys that I have for this shelf are candle holders, not salt and pepper shakers. Aren't they cute? I love the color of these. Again, nothing special. They're not marked or anything. But I'm gonna put these on either side. So I think what I'm gonna do is move those like that. Okay. I like that. All right. If I can find two burnt orange candles that are short to put in there, and I think I have them in my stash, I may put those in there. I think that would be really pretty. Yeah, let me see, just out of curiosity. Is that better? That? Nope, nope, nope. I like that. All right, I liked it the way I had it. I'm not gonna play, not gonna do it. All right, and then I'm gonna go in and put some, actually, there's not as much space on that end. So I think I'll do this. I'm gonna put that one there, that one there. That one there. I actually had it mirroring, so I think I'll just do that. It'll be fine, right? All right, so there's that shelf. Now we're gonna go to the top. This one should be easy. All I'm gonna do is put my soup tureens up here. Then I have one other big one. And then I have a beautiful turkey plate. I got this last year. You guys have seen it. I'm gonna put my plate holder up here. Look at this gorgeous, this one is a Martha Wang, Japan. Made in Japan. Isn't that gorgeous? The dollhouse has something similar. A set of 4, I'm so excited. Can't wait to decorate the dollhouse. All right, now I have turkeys. Sorry, I'm going off camera. I have turkeys and amber glass. Let me show you. These are salt and pepper shakers. And the amber glass. So I'm just gonna put those up here, like that. And that is that. That's done. I have 2 of these corn husks left. So I think, to give myself a little bit of interest, I think what I'm gonna do is move this a little bit. Okay, let me see. Okay. It'll fill that in just a little bit more. Oh, I like that. Okay, why didn't I do that before? I don't understand why I didn't do it before. I like the way that looks. I should have done that before. All right. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Alrighty, okay. Some exciting news. This table is getting ready to go. We are getting a table that'll fit this space better. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited because I missed the table that I made. So we're gonna let's start with what we're gonna put in the middle. So I found this beautiful Lazy Susan at the Dollar Tree for $7. And it's gonna go in the middle. It says autumn is here. This is functional. because when we're eating dinner, we can put condiments or whatever. So cute, functional piece. And put that in the, I love Lazy Susans. That goes in the middle. And then on top of it, because you gotta have something, I'm just gonna put this vase of some red corn, and then a battery operated flickering flameless candle in the middle that I can turn on and off in the evenings, and it's gorge. Then I'm just gonna go in with some placemats. These are just the run-of-the-mill, nothing special, Hobby Lobby, beautiful little burlap placemats. I'm gonna put those there. And then I have to have some chargers, so I'm gonna use, again, Hobby Lobby. They just have the copper look, so I'm gonna layer that in. I have a lot of copper accents going throughout the kitchen, so this is just gonna help pull that down here. I do have copper on the hutch, it's on the top. So I'm pulling the copper and that color palette down to the table. Then the next thing that gets layered on top of that are just simple white chargers. These are from the Dollar Tree. They came out with these years ago. I don't know if they still have this particular one. It has those really pretty beaded detail on them. I haven't been able to find them since I bought them, I want to say about 16 years ago. So back when the Dollar Tree was actually $1. And then I have, again, a Hobby Lobby. They have these plates. I don't know if they have them this year or not, because I haven't been to Hobby Lobby a whole lot. I haven't done a whole lot of shopping, believe it or not. But I picked these up at Hobby Lobby. They're this Robert Stanley. I got them on clearance at the end of the season. I want to say 3 years ago. And I got 2 separate patterns. They're both horse and buggy, but one has a single horse and buggy and one has a cage horse and buggy. So they're slightly different, but the same color, same pattern, like around the rims. So works out perfectly. Then gotta pull some amber glass over, right? So I'm going to put some of my beautiful amber glass cups out on the table, one at each setting. I think these are super adorable for this time of year. I pull out the amber glass every fall. Actually, I didn't even know about amber glass until I watched Becky at my little vintage home. She has a beautiful collection. Now, I did go out and buy like an obscene amount of amber glass after watching one of her videos. The first time when I started watching her and saw that, I was like, I had to have it. So I went out and got it. And then I was like, you know what? I don't have to have a collection like this. I don't have anywhere for it, and I don't have a love for it like she does. So why did I hoard it like that? That makes no sense. So I actually sold all of my amber glass, and I only kept a few pieces that I knew I would incorporate and use year after year. My days of excess and trying to keep up with everybody else is over. I can't do it anymore. It is exhausting and expensive. All right, and all I did was add my napkins and my napkin rings, the napkins and the napkin rings, all Hobby Lobby. When I buy things from Hobby Lobby, I buy them when they're on clearance at the end of season. I don't buy anything full price. I am not a full price kind of gal. So when I say Hobby Lobby, just know, even though a lot of it comes from Hobby Lobby, I did not pay full price for that. No, I didn't do that. Now we're gonna do the island, and I'm gonna put this cutting board right in the middle. And then I'm gonna put a cute little neutral vignette on the top, and it'll still be functional. I'll show you what I mean. We're gonna use a stool. We're gonna use a lace runner. We're gonna use a flower arrangement in a milk glass pitcher. And then I've already put this basket together, so I'm not gonna pull it apart. But I just put some wooden spoons, a vintage flower cutter, and a little bit of that greenery that's in the flower arrangement in this buttocks basket. We're gonna use that. We're gonna use some cookbooks and a cookbook holder. And we're gonna use some jars and another wooden scoop. So let's put this vignette together. The first thing I'm gonna do is, actually I think the first thing is the cookbook. I'm gonna put that over here. And these are very old cookbooks. Let me show. All right, so this came from Hobby Lobby. That's nothing new. I'm gonna butt that up right to the very edge corner. I need every space of this cutting board. This is not an old cookbook, but I do like the recipes in it. They used to give them out at Costco years ago. So it's a Costco cookbook, so I have that. This is a really old country recipe cookbook that I love, so I'm gonna keep that there. I do use that. And then this is Hometown Favorites. All of these are from our area, and I actually use this. And I put ginger, which one? Oh, apple walnut cookies is the one that I want showing, because I have a bit of an apple theme going on as well, because fall to me is not just pumpkins, but also apples. I live in the apple capital. So why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I do that? So I'm gonna put my stool right on the edge over here. And then I'm gonna put my flower arrangement right in the middle. Then I'm gonna cover this stool with this doily. Lace runner. It does look like a doily, but it's not. It's a runner. And I'm gonna tuck it in. I'll have to go to the other side and do a little tucking and get it on here. But basically it is kind of holding, it's kind of covering up the mechanics of the stool. And then I'm gonna put the scoop, just gonna tuck it right in there. I think that is gorgeous. And then I'm gonna put my oatmeal in a glass jar right up on the top. I'm gonna put my rice, which I need to go to the store and buy more oatmeal and rice, because we actually use this. That was what was functional about this vignette. We use those. And then this is gonna go right in the corner over here. And that's gonna help to kind of camouflage the underside of the stool. And that is my little vignette. I know everybody loves a good coffee bar area, a good coffee area moment for fall. And I've already done it, so I'm gonna leave a few things up. I'm not taking it all down because it's just, it's too much work and I'm getting tired, so. My coffee pot, I always have sitting on something that I can pull in and out easily and refill and do what I need to do. So that's why it's always on a mat. Let me see if I can bring it down. It's always on a mat. And then I picked this up at, I forget where we got this. But I don't have a big coffee bar area like I did in the old house. So this will have to suffice. It gives me the layers, the tiers, so that I can do a little decorating. And all I did was switch out my coffee and sugar. This is actually tea in here, not sugar. But I have my coffee in here and sugar in the black and white because it goes better for fall than the clear, more modern, neutral things. And then on the bottom, all I did was, let me take you down and show you. Let me see if I can get a better, get you a better view of that. Hopefully that's a little bit better. So all I did was nestle some cups and to-go cups and the sleeves. And then I made these little apples. So I have an apple here. I have a hello fall sign all the way in the back. The commercial's playing on YouTube. I have a YouTube background thing going, and you can hear the commercial in the background. So this is just Art's sugar jar he's had in his family forever, so he still uses that. That always has to stay out. And then I just added a few of the little mochas that I made, pumpkin little mocha things. These came from the Dollar Tree, and then I just zhuzhed them up with caulking and paint and little cinnamon sticks and pumpkins. Anyway, those are there just to give it a little nod of fall, warm up the space a little bit. And then over here on this side, I have my coffee grinder, and I have some stencils that you can put on top of your coffee, shake the cinnamon and whatnots to give your coffee that little fall feel or fall moment. And then the Hobby Lobby little spoons, I do have pumpkin ones as well. But I wanted the leaves to start off with. I'll put the pumpkins out when we move into Halloween. And then I have my pumpkin spice everything sign that I always put up every year. And I just cover the command strip with a bow from the Dollar Tree. They still have those. Those bows have been around forever. Now I'm just gonna add a few more little touches to this area. And we do keep it this way. Art has gotten used to it. We just move the decor out of the way when we're having coffee in the mornings. But this is a functional piece, spoon rest, because he mixes his coffee that way. He just does a quick stir. I actually froth mine, so I have my frother. And then I made this tea, faux tea. My daughter gave me this mom cup. She found this at an antique store, and it is vintage and beautiful. I love it. So this I put right here in front. It just is too cute. And then I have a Farm Fresh sign. I found this at Hobby Lobby. I thought this one was super cute, and it gave me the apple, touch of apple. It says farm fresh hot apple cider, and I keep that right there. We don't usually use this side of our Keurig. It's there in case we need it, like in a hurry, if we are wanting a cup of coffee midday and whatever, but we typically don't use that. We're old fashioned. We like the old style coffee. The only other thing that I added to this area was another one of my little mocha things, and I put it over here just as another zhuzh moment. Now I don't put magnets on the front of my refrigerator because it scratches the refrigerator. And I am always fighting with fingerprints and whatnots, and it's a whole thing. So to save myself the stress of all of that, I put my magnets on the side, and it's cute because I get to enjoy it in the mornings when we have our coffee. And I love to put pictures of my family about. That's super important to me. Specifically the kids and our dog. And all I do for that is go to Hobby Lobby, Michael's Anywhere, get the scrapbooking frames, and then I laminate the picture in the frame, and then I just add some magnets to the back. They're really lightweight, so they're easy to pack away should you need to, and they're not gonna slide down on the refrigerator. They're super simple and easy. The rest of the kitchen is just, basic. I put out the pecan pie candle. This candle I have had for years, and it smells so good. So I just set that on the stove every year. I keep it simple. I also have this candle. This is our favorite scent for this time of year, the buttered maple syrup, the Crossroads candles. They are so good. These are such good candles. And I don't like to burn them. I like to put them under my candle lamps. And you can also use this for like, just put like a simmering pot underneath as well. I use all of these things to cook, so it's important that they stay there. But I did add a touch of orange and just keep some salt in there to sprinkle. I just kept it very simple. And there's real life going on over here. We're getting ready to make some, well, I'm not. Art's going to make some banana bread, so we're going to be, that's what those are for. And then I have batteries because I need to put batteries in all these wonderful candles I put out everywhere. And then I just kept this area really simple. I think I might put like a festive towel or something in there and zhuzh this up a little bit before I film a home tour. I don't want to get anything in that area because I don't want to spoil anything. On the kitchen, we have our, oh my goodness, Art must have knocked this over when he was filling his drink. He just went to the gym. I keep this here. Look, I even have an apple sponge. These are at the Dollar Tree. So I picked up like 3 or 4 packs of these. And the Swedish towels are amazing. I've been using them before they were popular. I love them. And then our steak is thawing for dinner. This is, I don't want to give away what I have over there, so I'm going to try to get the angle just right. This is my little sink situation. That is, I've shared this before, that is my favorite scent from Bath & Body Works. Of course, Miss Meyer's apple cider scent, Dawn dish soap, you know, the basics. Technically, this is in the kitchen, so I'm just going to share it with you. I'm not going to redo it, but I put more of the apples that I made. Let me take this off so you can get a better look at the apples. These are the apples that I made. I think I made them 2 years ago. And I like having I love a tier tray situation, but I don't have a lot of tier trays. So I create my tiers in creative ways. So this is kind of like my nod to a tier tray. And I just have my little apple theme going right here. I need to put something in that basket, and I think I might just pull some faux apples and put in there. I don't know. And I made those little pies. I did those, I think, last year and thrifted that little sign. I think it originally came from Hobby Lobby, but it came in a thrift bag. And that is how this little corner looks. And I love it. I'm in love with it. So that is my kitchen. And I don't want to show you up above the cabinet, so I'm being very careful. I don't want to show you up above where the curtains are because I've done something there. You're just going to have to wait to the home tour to see all that. Alrighty, besties, that's going to do it for this week's video. I know it wasn't your usual polished video, but it is what it is, right? So I realized that I forgot to do like close-up looks of everything. So I'm actually just going to end the video out with some music and the close-ups of the kitchen. If you want to see what's up above my cabinets and the very creative thing I did above each of my windows in the entire main floor, you're going to have to come back for the home tour for that because I'm not showing you yet. You got to be surprised. You got to want to come back for the home tour. I can't show it all right now. So come back for that. And these baskets right here, I think I hauled those for you guys. Got them in Bridgewater a couple weekends ago. And that's the new greenery that I had bought. I need to do a makeover on those. I want to sand them and stain them. And then I'm going to be putting pops of fall in there. So those are little touches that'll happen in the home tour. So you'll definitely have to come back for that. So I hope you have a wonderful Sunday, besties. And until next week, when we do this all again, I will see you later. Bye.